Hi, I'm Tracy Briceño, and I'm the Customer Account Services Manager. I've been at the library for 22 years and been in customer accounts for the last 7. And this is my baby. This is my automated materials handling system, and it handles most of the returns at the library. So if things are regular books and movies and CDs, they all get returned through our alley book return. They go down a chute and land onto our conveyor belt, which is designed as a drop and go system. So things are returned in bunches. People don't have to return things one at a time, which was a big boon for this system because we have a really active library using population, and we didn't want to make people have to return 50 books one at a time. The way that the system works is it pulls things over waves, basically. So it's going to pull them up and then down to separate them out so that you don't have big chunks of books at one time. It also has multiple check-in points so that things don't miss getting checked in when they go through this system. And each wave, each conveyor belt has little pieces that stick up that are actually called flights that help separate the books out so that by the time they go down the last conveyor belt, they're set up to go down one at a time. The last reader reads and sends the computer information about what kind of book that is. And then we have 11 different sort sections, and then the books are dropped into those sort sections based off of what kind of book they are. One of the things you'll notice as you watch our automated materials handling system work is that there's lots of different kinds of sensors and buttons. So some of our sensors are so that the machine isn't running when nothing's on it. And so they trigger the machine to run and let it know that there's something there. And then we also have sensors that show the machine that a book is going past, which help it to figure out which bin things should go into. Underneath it, it has rollers. And when it gets to the right section, the rollers lift up and engage with the little roller balls on the top and roll the book or the movie right into the correct bin. And then additionally to the sensors, we also have 2 different kinds of buttons on the AMHS. So one of them is a blue button, which has 2 different functions. So one function is to light up when the bin is full. The blue lights are also used if there's a problem. So if the system has to shut down for some reason, all of the blue lights will start flashing, which is a really evident way for us to know something's going on. We should take a look at it. The other kind of button that we have is red emergency stop buttons, and those are set throughout the system because it is a conveyor belt system. That's a safety feature and allows us to immediately stop and turn the power off to the system if there was anything that got wrapped up or got caught up. We very rarely have to use those buttons, but they're a nice safety feature that we have in there as well. So by the time that they're dropped into the section, they're already checked in and they're ready to be put onto a cart and put back onto the shelf, which is a huge benefit for us because prior to this system, we would check everything in by hand, and our back alley book return was far away from where we checked things in. So sometimes by the time we got things back on the shelf, we had actually touched them 6 to 8 times. And ideally with our new system, the vast majority of items we touch twice. In addition to our drive-through book return, we also have a walk-up book return. So customers who are coming into the library can walk up, drop their materials off before they come in the door, and then they're actually dropped into bins that get inserted into our automated materials handling system and dumped automatically. This system was a big investment when we moved into our new building. So when we built a new library, this was one of the things that we knew we wanted to put into the new library because we know that we spend a lot of time trying to get things back on the shelf and trying to connect people with materials. And so the faster that we can get something back on the shelf, the more likely that the next person to come in finds what they're looking for, and the less time that we have to spend trying to track something down. So we wanted a system that helped us move towards that goal. Before, when I said we'd touched things 6 to 8 times in our old building, that meant sometimes we didn't have things shelved for 3 days. In this new system, because we're touching things so much less frequently, because they're already checked in by the time that we're interacting with them, it is not unusual for us to have a 6-hour turnover. And then the 4th place to return materials in the library is actually not in the library, it's at the bookmobile. The bookmobile, you can return anything and everything to the bookmobile to be checked in as well. Not only is it my favorite piece of technology, but a lot of people like to see this machine. So if you're ever interested in getting a tour of the library or a tour of the automated materials handling system, just contact the library. Our tour form is online. Or if you're in the building and you want to just take a look, stop at the welcome desk and ask staff, and we would be happy to show you the automated materials handling system.